His car cost $60,000, but it's 4 years old. I know, but it's a Cadillac Escalade. But sir, it's 4 years old. You sold it for $60,000 4 years ago. Well, you ain't got $60,000, do you? No, I'll just hook you right on up with start an easy credit plan for you. And people so broke, and they want to be adding up to being somebody so bad that they will buy it. And then drive up on the corner and see you standing on the bus stop because you're too smart to get stuck into some stupid shit like that. But they have the nerve to look down on you because you riding the bus. And you can look at them and say, well, you need to hurry up and get to one of your many jobs. Because I know you got to have a whole lot of them to pay for that thing. But see, that's what they've taught us. They've taught us that materialism is what makes you be something. It don't have anything anymore about how you feel in your heart. You can know you're a sorry ass bastard and know that the way you got the money to buy that car because you killed 2 people and you'll still drive that car around feeling like you somebody and overlook the fact of what you did to obtain the money necessary to buy that car. And that's why we have so much poverty, because poverty creates depression. Depression creates crime, and the biggest money-making system in America is their criminal system. It makes more money than drugs because they're locking up people, forcing them to work in their prison industry where they put all the jobs at. And that's the reason there's no jobs for people out here. You see? So they've started lies way back 6,000, 10,000 years ago, and the perpetuation of them now is got it where you see little old white ladies now pushing carts, sleeping on the freaking bus stop. No, I'm telling you, go to LA if you think I'm lying. Go somewhere different than here in Vancouver, Washington if you think I'm lying. Go to LA. Don't go to Detroit. I don't want to wish that on nobody. Don't know. Hell no. You're my worst enemy. No, please. No, don't do that to yourself. No. You're a damn fool. The pit bulls left Detroit. Shit.
They really did.
They tore Detroit up, man. You hear what I'm saying to you?
And it's the biggest mecca for spirituality in America.
It's so sad.
Right? The neighboring city in Detroit is Dearborn, and it is the center for Islamic studies. And it has nothing to do with the Islamic order. It's just the fact that that is a spiritual mecca. And Christianity perpetuated throughout all of the Michigan, everywhere.
And that's why they destroyed it.
And it's not surprising to me that Michigan has the worst economy in the country.
They deliberately destroyed Detroit, Michigan, because it had 2 sectors of people that they despised. It had the Arabic nations, and it also had the African American nation. And those 2 nations are 2 of the most despised nations in America right now, and always been despised. You know.
It's also the perpetuation of that stagnated mentality, because they still use the same system of oppression that they used 400 years ago when African Americans were still slaves. It's still been that same mentality still exists, and is what is being sustained by the churches in the city of Detroit.
That's absolutely right.
It's the same system.
And it's going to always be around, because the best way to control a person is to stagnate their spirituality, eliminate their connection with their own true self God. What I mean is this. The energy that's inside of me is the same energy that's inside of you. This energy source is the same energy source that's inside of those plants. It's the same energy source that's in the water. It's the same energy source that comes from the sun, and it's the same energy source that's in Mother Earth. Because Mother Earth lives. She's not just a big piece of rock. It is a living entity, because if it was not a living entity, it could not support living entities. And that's the reason why people should not be eating dead animals, because it cannot support you. It only tastes good. That's all it does. So the only thing that really supports people that eat dead animals is the water and the sunlight. And whatever vegetables you might get every now and then. But you're not getting nothing from that dead meat. It's some dead meat put into your body that stays there forever and will eventually give you cancer and kill you. All your lower intestine is stagnated with steak that you ate 35 years ago, and you need to go on a strict zero tolerance to meat so you can prolong your life. I went and became a vegetarian 6 years ago, and in that 6 years I have repaired all the complications I've had in my body, including cancer. By me reading the books that I read and following my spiritual guidance that comes from my heart. I do not get it out of books. The books only tell me how to activate the energy source inside of me and to listen to it and to follow its guidance. And the first thing it told me was to stop eating meat and to stop worshiping another God other than myself. These are attributes of a God. These are not actual gods. These are explanations of how the cosmic universe works.
Metaphysics.
Metaphysics. These are not actual entities. They are true spiritual energy that has been given personification so the information could be readily explained to fragile minds. Someone who has not figured out that a plant is a living life form, this is probably going to be too much for you. I would advise you to go get hooked on phonics and stick with the Flintstones for a little while before you try to step up your game to this. Okay, I hate to be rude like that, but that's really what we're working with here. Maybe you need to get that little thing where you plug, you know, you make sure that the little, what do you call them, pegs? Right, make sure you go past that. Because if your ass didn't learn the fundamentals of horticulture when you was in school, I don't know what to tell you. Now, I'm sorry, but I'm kind of like PC. It bothers me to know that I live on earth with someone who does not recognize a plant as a living entity that is equal right to be on this planet as you do.
In 2012.
In 2000, that's ridiculous. You know, to share something with you, I was watching a nature show, and this dude caught a fish, and he like, ooh, and pulled it in the boat, and then he held it up, and he bragged about his little trophy. Then he pulled the hook out of his mouth, and put him back in the water, and let him go. And I thought to myself, what a disrespectful nature. I mean, you know this thing is out here because it has to eat to survive. So what do? You don't have nothing else to do today but go out here and set up a trap for this thing just because you're bored. Now this thing might swim around for a whole week.
And not eat.
Can't even eat because you thought that there was nothing wrong with putting a hook in his mouth and traumatizing his ass for 15 minutes, pulling him out into a whole new environment, exposing him in the air, then traumatize him some more by pulling the damn hook out and then throw him back in the water. Now he's probably tired now. I'm sure he's tired. Makes him vulnerable to predators and all that stuff just because someone was not considerate enough to recognize that fish as a living entity that did not deserve to have that done to it that morning. No more than the person that did it would like to have it done to them. So my thing is, when the weather and stuff starts tearing up houses and throwing tractor trailers up in the sky, you guys might want to sit around and believe that's just nature because you don't know how it works. But the way it works is that the elements of this planet can be controlled by the children of this planet. And the children of this planet happen to be us melanated people. And just because we've been through all these problems with the Europeans and other melanated people and everything does not make us any less than what we really are. So now you got the energy of all these victims around the earth commanding the elements and demanding justice for all the incarcerated people, for all the hung people, for all the castrated people, for all the people that were sold, all the people that got thrown in the ocean, for all the people that's still suffering right now at this European tyranny. The earth and the elements of the earth is at you to let you know you are messing with the wrong people. It's real simple. And you guys think since it's been, what, 400, 500, 600 years that it's such a big deal. That's only one day. We're talking about people this billion. We are old, ancient people. We have no beginning and we have no end. And we surely is powerful than some spigeon that's real close to being subtle anyway. I mean, really, to tell you what it is, it's nothing but somebody spit and the filth that just got over a bunch of things and, oh well, we'll take care of that. Because we are some very, very powerful people, you know. So don't walk around so arrogant because you can see the weather is tearing your asses up. And it's just the first beginning. That's the thing about it. I'm just telling you the truth.
That's what prophets do.
I mean, I'm just telling you the truth. They can give you all that shit when I was a kid, I was in school, and the teacher said, "Hickory dickory dock, the clock, the rat ran up the clock." And even then, I knew that I should be getting a better education than that. Even though I was a little kid, my mind told me there is something incomplete. Look, I was like about 5 years old, but I should have raised my little hand and told the teacher I was thinking. I would have told a little bitch, I need something a little more challenging than this. Yep. Now, when I grow up, this is going to be a hard world to live in, and hickory dickory dock, the mouse ran up the clock. We can replace that with Christopher Columbus did not discover America. Okay.
Christopher Columbus came to America
and pillaged and plundered the people who had already discovered it. See, you feel me? And so my point being that I know I dropped that, and you don't have to put all this on there, you know that. But this is for you, so you can refine to later yourself. You know what I mean? But definitely keep banging at them, because if they're listening, it's because you're getting through to them. That's what it means. But before I go, one more thing. I gotta let y'all know this. See, this is pedophilia. This is little phallus, that little piece right here on the top. That's a little boy penis. And this one down here on the bottom, that is the male penis. That is what went on in the Catholic Church. The Pope had the little altar boys because it was a very big homosexual society. And that's the reason why the patriarchal world that we live in right now is still trying to perpetuate homosexualism, right now to this day. So what I'm trying to get at to you guys is, if you're really sitting about setting your society straight and trying to make things that make the train run right on the track, you're going to have to start with this stoppage of the eradication of the female. She is a very important fact. She is the fact. She is the one that gives life to man. If she doesn't give life to man, there will not be any man. So it's from her uterus, which is the same black hole that works in space, that men come from. So if the man could be a god, then the woman has to be able to be a goddess. Exactly. Now listen, this lady right here, her name is Set. This is the same lady right here. See the horns on the head? The horns is the representation of plenty. That means that she is the creator of all sustainment of the universe. See, they have breasts, and the breasts have milk in it. So when they have a baby, they're able to squeeze their little titties, and the baby can get milk. Till the white man came along. Then they started getting their milk out of a can. See? Back to that process shit I was telling y'all about. But watch this. She can squeeze it and put a little baby milk, and he get milk that was made by God. Because God made the milk inside of this woman that God made. And then the white man gave us canned milk. And he a great guy. But look, see the little horns? That means sustainment. It means life bounty. It means fluctuation of life force. Just like the cow has the big thing under the little thing that the milk be in for their babies to eat. That's what the horns represent. And this thing in the middle, that's the sunlight. Yes, it means resurrection. It means that life permeates forever. And you see this thing she got in her hand? It's a hoe. The same type of hoe you'll plant your garden with and grow plants that don't live in. And then check this out. She says, this hoe I take with me everywhere I go. Because I plant the seeds and I reap what I sow. That means that if you are people that has enslaved and denationalized a whole nation of people, then those are the seeds that you plant. And the only thing that could grow from that is a fucked up country like we got right now.
Hold on.
Peace. While I'm trying to adjust this camera, I want you to see that statue of that lady right there. Her name is Sekhmet. She is a goddess. She is the goddess of fire. She lives in the sun. She is, what you will, the avenger for mankind. And her trademark